Legendary.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Rose City Sports Talk. I'm Bryce Trost, sitting next side to my dude Anwar Jones.
What's going on, PDX?
As always, we're joined by our audio engineer, Jake Hummel.
And joined by some beers, too.
Yes, sir. I like beers.
Yeah, we know you
I
like beers. We also call Jake the Hammer. So if you refer,
The Hammer!
You hear the reference Hammer, you know we're talking about our statistician and audio engineer who keeps us sounding pretty throughout the evening.
Yes, sir.
Tonight's episode is scored by Lunchtime Legends, who you can check out at foranysituation.com as well as on rosecitysportstalk.com. You can also search them out and find them on iTunes. All right.
Check them out.
That's right. And tonight, hydrations, or I should say the brew we are sipping on is from Ninkasi as well as I think Jake's sipping on the usual
Pyramid. Yeah, the
Schonz. You're a fan through and through.
Every time we do a show during a Blazer game, I feel like I have to get the Schonz.
That's fair.
Right?
Y'all hit me with the Ninkasi like stout. Like I haven't had
The vanilla oatmeal.
You know, usually I'm on my
Otis.
my
Yeah.
IPA game. You guys
You
got
are.
me.
Anwar loves his
vanilla
IPAs, but
stouts.
tonight we definitely hooked him up with the vanilla Otis.
I used to be a stout man too. I used to be stouts and porters.
What do you think of
all day.
that? What do you think
It's
of that?
cool, man. It's cool.
You liking it?
I can sip on that.
I always, I'm a fan of Ninkasi no matter what it is. But I think I went with the double red ale tonight. So always a fan of Ninkasi. Make sure you check them out at ninkasibrewing.com.
Jake,
Just a little
I'm
fact, Ninkasi just dropped Budweiser as they're distributing and went back small town.
Yeah, they kept it local.
So they went back local.
Actually,
so.
they went back local.
Gosh, I can't remember
I like corporations anyways.
what it was, but it is a local distributor.
Good look. Well, good
Good for
luck to
them.
Ninkasi. Check them out again, the Eugene Brewing Company. And then obviously Pyramid out of Seattle, Washington. But they're showing love to Portland with the Schonz. All right, let's
It's
jump.
in the Northwest, you know. We
Northwest,
family, y'all.
yeah.
We family.
As long as you're showing love, we're gonna drink the love.
Yeah.
If it's booze, we're gonna enjoy it.
That didn't sound right.
No, it didn't sound right.
But
As long as it's love.
Keep it pushing.
Nah. Okay, all right. So let's jump right
that.
into it. We had a pretty crazy weekend. This weekend we got to see the AFC and NFC championships. Let's start off talking about the more lopsided of the two. Let's talk about the AFC championship, where we got to see the New England Patriots literally kick the snot out of the Indianapolis Colts.
It was so boring, man. Like
45-7.
I
didn't expect that.
You're looking at Andrew
but I
Luck.
expected a New England win, but not
You're looking
that
at
size.
Andrew Luck, man. Come on, like you've gotten worked 3 times by these guys in the past. For you to come out with that type of showing, like it was hard. It was hard to watch. I was unintrigued by that whole matchup. Like he went 12 for 33 for $126, 2
Yeah.
picks. And it's like he
Wasn't
was
pretty.
missing a lot of early throws. A lot of throws that you've seen Luck make throughout the season just didn't happen against the Pats. And they just strictly just manhandling them. Like you gave them first possession, Krebs gets the opening fumble, and then they just proceed to smack them up with LeGarrette Blount all game long.
LeGarrette, 2 weeks in a row where you got to see a huge game from him. Yeah, it
Garrett is
wasn't
a
4
beast.
touchdowns like last weekend's outing,
well.
but regardless,
He had
still
3.
put up.
He had 3.
Yeah,
Last year he had
exactly.
4. This time he had
still
3.
put up well over a century and had an extremely impressive game.
Pittsburgh,
30 attempts, 148 yards,
Blount.
3 touchdowns.
One more time, Jake. Sorry, what was that?
30 attempts, 148 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Goodness.
But, like,
goodness. Shout out to the Ducks.
Because they had there was that big controversy with Le'Veon Bell and LeGarrette Blount, where they're partaking in illegal activities before a team flight. You know, he gets kicked off the team
LeGarrette.
right away.
Hey,
The Patriots pick him up and look
it's
at the
better
div- look at the
smoking that
div-
la-la than
look at the-
smacking somebody in the
Yeah.
middle of national television.
Hey.
like his first real encounter with the media was in terms of national
That was funny. When he
recognition.
Should have been
cold-cocked that
talking
dude with
shit.
Boise State, that was hilarious.
Boise State coming across the wrong way and then
But
just
what about for the team or for the coach? And he's hands down best coach in the league.
Bill Belly.
Hands down. But I was kind of calling him Jamie Lannister last week.
Jamie Lannister.
And then now you come over
Anwar
here.
Anwar throwing out the Game of Thrones references.
And you're cheating again.
Okay.
I mean,
cheating again. Oh.
The deflated balls. And I'm like, look, the NFL.
There's some speculation. In fact, there's an actual investigation.
They're investigating the deflated balls. Supposedly, it makes you be able to throw a little easier.
Yeah,
and
Mark
catch the
Sanchez
ball.
did the same thing at USC.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Yep.
During the Oregon game, when we wore the Stormtrooper, we played at USC.
Yep.
His ball boy or whatever was deflating the ball to make it easier to throw and easier, I'm assuming, to catch.
That's right.
Just kind of sounds like the same one thing.
With the stats
But the thing
and
about
info.
it is, they didn't need it.
They didn't need it.
And that's my whole beef with New England. Like, you don't need Spygate. You don't need these deflated balls or anything. These the ineligible versus eligible receivers, all that stuff. You don't need all this because you basically lined right up to the Colts, say we're gonna run it with Garrett Blunt, stop us, and they couldn't do it. But now this is a cloud that's hanging over the franchise. It's been doing that since Spygate. It's like, you guys don't.
It's
ruin
a cloud.
Don't
it's a
ruin
cloud,
your
but
reputation.
I do not think that it's ruining the reputation.
No.
They have a bad
How do you
rep.
take away that many wins
You don't.
from not just Tom Brady but Bill Belichick?
They're great. Tom Brady, he's number one in yards, touchdowns, completions, playoff history. Like, he's passing up Joe Montana. He's gonna probably play for a couple more years, so it's gonna make it hard for him to. For somebody to surpass this guy. He's
I got a question
successful.
for you. You just threw something out. We're gonna let's touch back on that here in a few.
Throw it out to me.
You threw out a name. You said he's
Joe Montana.
passing Joe Montana.
He passed Joe. He's not like,
as
you
a
look at the
Niner
books.
fan. As a Niner fan,
You look at the books.
I want to know.
Brady, boom, 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 boom.
Brady also has a couple boom boom losses in the Super Bowl. Boom boom. Last minute.
Joe Montana has
to the same
that
team, to the boom boom same quarterback.
He has that Jordan.
Eli Manning.
He has that Jordan status.
And that's frustrating as a fan of Tom Brady and as a believer in his ability. And I guess I could say that in the past and even more recently, especially this season, seeing kind of their transition back into this offense, you can argue that if he were to pick up this Super Bowl, is he the greatest?
It's
He's definitely
he makes
really good.
I mean, I feel like
He makes the argument.
4 rings out of 6 attempts is extremely impressive.
That's Joe Montana status.
Because Joe Montana status, like I was saying, he has the Jordan level because he never lost in that big game. Like, every time he was in a Super Bowl,
very true. Shout out to those Niners.
So, and then Brady, on the other hand, he hasn't been entirely impressive in all of his Super Bowl victories. He was impressive in the Philly one, impressive in the Carolina one, but those other ones were pretty shaky. And then he lost 2 of them to Eli Manning.
But you would say that he has made it to a few more.
He's made it. He has the numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 rings is impressive.
That's pretty.
And
that's
then you put in the stats to back
that's
it up.
extremely impressive when you're talking about the NFL and in the terms of the competitive level that he's had to sustain for. You could actually argue he has literally seen a transfer. I mean, he has survived kind of the progression of the NFL offense. You know what I mean?
Started that whole spread.
The spread,
They started spread in the NFL. I remember after they won their first Super Bowl, next thing you know, Monday night, they're going against Pittsburgh.
Innovation is key.
You're just seeing this 5-wide setup. He's hitting all these underneath routes. You're like, damn, like, he's actually legit. Like, okay, it wasn't just like a fluke run. It wasn't some.
Agreed.
What was the dude from the Giants? He replaced Phil Simms in the Super Bowl. Was it Jeff Hostetler?
Hostetler, yeah.
It wasn't like some flash in the pan with Hostetler.
Yeah.
It was like, this guy is here to stay, and he has been for the past 10 years after that. He has all the records to back it up. And I mean, Brady. He's the most clutch quarterback that we've seen the last 10 years. He replaced Manning as the best quarterback of this generation. So he's
you kind of took the question out of my mouth there. Do you think that? Is Tom Brady the best quarterback of the current generation?
Who can? whose resume stacks up to him?
I agree.
The only guy.
Over who? I'm pretty sure he sits on top.
Yeah.
The only guy.
It's hard to say
who else
as someone who isn't always a fan or
Peyton
ever
Manning.
a fan of New
Peyton
England
Manning
teams,
versus
Boston
Tom Brady
teams,
isn't even a
etc.
question.
It isn't a question because like Peyton Manning has a losing record in the playoffs.
Tom Brady kills Peyton Manning every time they play.
And you got to give credit to Belichick on that.
He does.
Belichick schemes to stop that guy, and he's choked plenty of times. But
Bill Belly finds a way every time.
And he finds a way to deflating the balls. I'm like, come on, dog.
Oh, sorry. By the way, I got to make a retractment.
Yeah.
I said Mark Sanchez when I should have said Matt Barkley.
Barkley, yeah.
Barkley was the one
back at USC
with the
when the deflated balls.
Yeah, so
that's correct.
I bet people are going crazy right now, so I had to make that change.
We're going to take a quick break here on Rose City Sports Talk. When we come back, we're going to jump into the NFC title game and talk about those Seahawks and that crazy, crazy comeback. Stick around. Rose City Sports Talk. We'll be right back.
That was the game right there.
Welcome back to Rose City Sports Talk. As always, Bryce Trost, Anwar Jones, Jake Hummel. Special shout out to Lunchtime Legends, our scoring producers for the evening. You can definitely check them out at rosecitysportstalk.com as well as their website, forannysituation.com. And you can also search them out on iTunes because they've got an album on there that's hot fire.
Hot fire.
Hot fire.
Dylon.
Okay.
I spit that fire.
Before we took the break, we were talking about the NFL and the divisional championships, the conference championships. We covered AFC. Let's jump into the NFC where we saw Seattle Seahawks take on the Green Bay Packers. Wilson versus Rodgers, and it was quite
and the Legion
a game.
Of Boom.
It was quite a game.
That was one of the most improbable comebacks you will ever see in your life. Like, I remember when Russell threw the first pick, it was like, whoo. Like, Russell doesn't throw picks.
The first pick. In the playoffs. There was multiple.
And then you just see it happening throughout the game. Like, I mean, this is easily, by far, the worst game any of us have any seen Russell Wilson play. Since he's been on the stage. Easily. He hasn't played this bad.
14 for 29, 209 yards, 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions.
But through 3 quarters, the dude had a 0 passing rating. First quarter, they had 2 yards total. Ran like 4 plays.
Well, it's not like Rodgers played any better. So.
No. Rodgers
struggled.
19 for 34, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions.
The Packers did. Then I'm gonna throw out the Ohio State.
This dude.
Jim Tressel.
Fucking guy.
Hold on. Just relax. Jim Tressel.
Oh, we're throwing out Youngstown now.
Yeah, so I used to love Jim Tressel as the coach. But what frustrated me the most is that he would go into big games and be very conservative play not to win, but he would play not to lose the game. And you can't win big games like that. And I think McCarthy did
you could argue that Jim won a couple big games.
He did. He won, but they also lost a lot of games in SEC.
Yep.
And that was the big knock on Ohio State. But I digress. Like McCarthy, there's 4 times you had a 4th and 1 situation. He didn't go for it any time. You have the first time you have it on 4th and 1 on the 1 yard line, score a touchdown, you pass it up. Okay, you get the points. The next time you're right there again. You have a 240-pound back, or however big Lacey is.
Yeah.
And you're controlling the line the way they did. You punch that in.
You'd think.
You go up 10-0.
You'd think.
He was way too conservative.
Yeah, agreed.
And Aaron Rodgers even kind of said to him, he hesitated trying to find like the best words, and like we weren't as aggressive as we probably should have been in key situations.
No.
And it's like it came back to haunt them when they didn't put the foot on the throat of the Seahawks and kept them alive.
Agreed. When you go up 16-0 in the NFC Championship, that
should have been more.
Agreed. It should have been at least
easily.
Forget the field goals. It should have probably honestly been 4 touchdowns, 28-0 or before,
or at least 24-0.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give you 24.
Like,
yeah.
I can see one field goal in there. 24-0. The way that Russell was playing,
you held him to a goose egg to the half. And then you let him come out in Seattle, and you knew. But you knew that there was going to be a spark. You just didn't know it was going to be until the fourth quarter.
Pete Carroll. Look at the balls on Pete Carroll. To do that fake field goal.
Forget Big Balls Chip. Pete Carroll showed some serious.
And the heart of those dudes, like, it was amazing watching those guys fight back. And especially the guy who did it for me was Marshawn.
Thank you.
Was Marshawn Lynch.
25 carries, 157 yards, 1 touchdown, but yet.
God damn it, Bryce. I was going to say that.
I'm sorry, Jake. I know our statistician / audio engineer, the Hammer, he was ready. But I was so excited because I was so impressed by Lynch and how he
had
literally he had a game. He kept them in the game even when they were getting their butt kicked.
Exactly. And that's what I was like gonna say. It's like, you had all these time, like, they're down.
Beast mode.
And he's still you're like, man, like, if they can just get in this end zone, they have a chance. He kept them believing the way he was pounding the rock. And
they were down 16-0. He bust off a 12-yarder. He'd get up. He'd say, feed me. He'd say, feed me. I was like,
that's what you're like. Everyone was like, feed him.
Yeah. When Marshawn Lynch is fired up, you give the man the ball. You give the man the ball. He's gonna put in work. He's gonna make people pay for trying to stop him at the line.
And what about that defense? The way that they were able to coddle Aaron Rodgers and not have him go off on him, not like hold Lacey to under 100 yards. He only had 73 yards rushing after a very strong first half. They were able to control that run in the second half. Didn't let Aaron Rodgers beat him.
What's crazy is Rodgers only got
Sherman with one hand. Who Aaron Rodgers? You're probably going to be the MVP. You should
but Sherman went down in the fourth quarter. That hyperextension on the elbow. That was fourth quarter.
Challenge Sherman. You challenged him one time in the game, and yes, he picked it off.
But what did Sherman do right after he got injured? What did he do? He came right back into the game.
I'm staying in, coach.
You cannot hate that man's.
If you're a coach,
the competitor within that dude.
Don't you throw a screen pass over to him?
I would.
Do something to make him
test that elbow.
Have to tackle you. Because I saw he tested him one time.
Question for you: is that classless? You see a man obviously injured. I feel like exactly.
Yeah.
You were in the NFC Championship. Why would you not pour salt on that wound?
That's how you play the game.
After the man.
What's that?
I was a little
what's
surprised.
That group? I think they Mob Deep. Because ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Scared to death. Like, they look like some shook ones. They look like some shook ones right there.
What happens when
you were shook the first game of the season? You're shook the last game of the season. Didn't want to challenge Sherman.
What do you do when you have your best cornerback come out and then the replacement come in? You immediately go after that replacement.
Yeah.
He's like this.
So if someone's injured, I would immediately go after him.
It didn't make sense to me. It really didn't.
And Earl Thomas from Texas, your school,
Longhorns, throw him up.
Dislocates his shoulder. He still goes over and cracks
He
anyways.
did.
Like,
he did.
Those
I
guys,
loved it. That was hard. That was hard
that they showed.
Yeah.
It like they willed themselves to that victory. And Russell Wilson played the worst game we've ever seen. And from his career, and for him
to
bounce back and throw those big plays, and for Doug Baldwin and Curse, who dropped countless passes.
Jake, you got a stat line on Baldwin? Because I know he had a great game.
Baldwin, he was 6 receptions, 106 yards.
Yeah, that's.
But he had 2 key drops.
35 was his longest.
Yeah,
he fumbled that ball. So these guys are having a bad game, and Russell kept on believing him.
Kept pushing.
Curse, he went to him 4 times. He had, and that's where all of his interceptions came from for going to Curse. Two tip passes from drop passes and 2 interceptions.
So where does this put Russell Wilson for you now?
For me, I mean, Russell Wilson.
Won a Super Bowl.
You saw him cry. You saw him crying after the end of the game.
Yeah,
and I'd be crying too because I went from almost messing up my whole contract to making $100 million. I'd be crying too because that was $100 million game that he
a lot was on the line.
Had.
A lot was on the line.
They said a crazy stat by him: 82 games going into it that he's led in a game in a football game since his NC State.
Yeah.
So it's like
NC State,
every
Wisconsin.
NC State and then Wisconsin.
Yeah, there you go.
But because he transferred over there for
Yes,
his
he
last
did,
year,
and he did
every game basically that Russell Wilson's in, your team has a chance to win the game. You're leading. You have the opportunity. So if I'm any team, I want to line up with him. And you saw how overwhelmed with emotion he was when he's saying, like, I threw 4 interceptions. These guys are still believing in me. Like, I have to go out and ball.
Yeah,
like,
You know, so like, where would you put him with QBs today? Would you take him on your team?
He's 5'10".
Would you take somebody else?
I'm just
asking the question.
Over Tom Brady?
I'm taking Russell.
Over Tom Brady.
I'm taking Russell in my top 5.
To build a team today, yes.
I'm taking Russell in my top 5.
Tom Brady is 6+, and he's playing within the same spread offense.
Russell
the same
can still be in
huddle.
that top. Russell can still be in that top.
Tom
2
Brady
more
can see over the line.
I'm going with Brady.
Tom Brady has a whole lot less batted down passes.
I don't care about height. Like I'm
not talking about height.
You said he can look over. You bring up the fact that Russell Wilson's 5'10". Like get out. Who cares about height? Can the guy make the throws? Can he make the plays to win the game?
Can he make the right
because
play?
you go at that combine and like
apparently he can when it matters
he's 6'5", 240. Blake Bortles, he makes all the measurements on your team. But you would rather have you got Teddy Bridgewater.
2 gloves.
You know you got
2 gloves.
You got 2 gloves.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like how many quarterbacks would you take? You take Drew Brees over plenty of quarterbacks in the league.
You're shaking your head like you would not take Drew Brees.
You take Drew.
You would take Drew Brees.
Yeah.
You would take Drew Brees.
You would take Drew Brees.
Drew Brees is
Teddy
is
2 gloves
6
though.
foot
Teddy 2 gloves.
No hand on my team.
I'm just saying that.
You gonna take Kaepernick over him?
Over Blake Bortles.
Okay, only because
you would take Russell.
Yes.
Who would you take? Russell.
I'd take Russell.
Russell or Colin Kaepernick? Who you want on your team? Mr. Niner.
I would take Russell right now.
If Harbaugh was still on the helm. No. All right.
Don't try to preface it.
Yeah.
Just who would you take?
What you got now?
Colin Kaepernick or Russell Wilson?
It's hard to say Cap because the standard for the NFL quarterback has changed.
That's a no.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break before I get in trouble for dissing on my Niners.
Take a break now.
We'll be back with Rose City Sports Talk. When we are back, we'll jump into the Super Bowl predictions.
Hey, you looking like a cornerback, just backpedaling.
Check us out, RoseCitySportsTalk.com, and another shout out to Lunchtime Legends for scoring the episode. We will be right back.
You gonna call Bryce Trost?
That ain't cool, man. That ain't cool.
Just backpedaling out there. Wow.
You a real politician.
Welcome back to Rose City Sports Talk. Perfect time to come back. I am Bryce Trost. Sit alongside my dude, Anwar Jones.
Feeling good, feeling great.
How are you? All right, and of course, we got to show love to our audio engineer, Jacob Hummel, who at times we call the Hammer.
Hammer's here to stay.
The Hammer's here to stay. All right, if you are a producer or artist, musician, etc., and you're interested in scoring an episode of Rose City Sports Talk, hit us up. We'd love to have you come on, score an episode, maybe even come into the show, talk a little bit about your upcoming projects. You can reach us at rosecitysportstalk.com, as well as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us at Rose City Sports Talk.
We
I'm pretty
around.
sure no vowels. But, you know, just search it out. We around. We around.
You know what I like to do at the bar at 7 o'clock?
What do you like to do at the bar at 7 o'clock, Jake?
Watch Jeopardy.
Okay.
I'm telling you, Jeopardy is great.
I thought you knew like
Thank you,
Savannah,
Alex Trebek.
Yeah.
Savannah White.
I'd like to take famous
No,
titties
mother
for
Trebek.
400. Yeah. I'm glad you and I
You know what's on right after Jeopardy? Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. That's
You know,
good.
I mean,
Jake. You've got the
when I
mind of a
think of-
60-year-old man.
when I think of Jeopardy, I think a white man can't jump.
Yeah.
And how he hit the hit that 3/4
Was it Rosie?
shot.
Rosie
yeah,
over
for
there?
Rosie, and then
Yeah.
that boom.
Yep.
He hits the
Okay.
basically full court.
So before we jump back in,
Moving on.
while we're talking about movies
That's
and all
not
kinds of other good stuff, we want to give a shout out to our beverage providers. Beverage providers.
I think,
Blah, 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 blah. Special thanks to
that's what the
Ninkasi
beverage
Brewery.
do. They make you stumble upon your words.
I got the
you know?
Schonz pyramid.
Except
You
when
do
you
got
got
the
ladies
Schonz
in front of you,
pyramid,
you
yeah.
can't stumble. You got to be smooth.
That's right. Show them
You
that
got to be
love.
cool as the other side of the pillow. Shout out to Stuart Scott.
That's right. Shout out to the
R.I.P.
Stewart's guy. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I'm enjoying Ninkasi's double red ale. I know you've got the vanilla
I got
Otis
the
over there.
stout.
It's been a while since you dove into the stout.
I usually don't do it.
How is it?
I've been an IPA.
I know Jake's a huge fan,
love
but what
it.
are you thinking?
I'm feeling it. I like it.
It's got that.
I like vanilla too.
Can
like
you taste
vanilla's-
that coffee vanilla like
Oatmeal.
goodness? Yeah,
It's good. Yeah, that's a
Yep.
good
It-
little sipping taste.
I'm all about the
Makes
Ninkasi.
you
Hey,
wanna come back.
Ninkasi, now while you local, why don't you come find us?
Yeah, man, come.
That's
fuck
right.
with your
Ninkasi
boy.
switching up their distributing. They're no
Yeah.
longer with Budweiser. They went back to the local distributor.
Stick to your
So
roots.
much love to the Ninkasi Brewing out of Eugene, Oregon. Check them out, ninkasibrewing.com. All right,
for your
let's
bills.
jump back in. Let's talk about we're not going to give our predictions right now, but we are going to talk about the matchup coming here with the Super Bowl game.
Seattle.
We've got Thanks, Jake. We've got Seattle Seahawks going against
You know,
the
it's
New
funny.
England Patriots.
You just said Seattle.
I'm not
right
even
away.
a fan.
Doug
I'm just
Baldwin
kind of messing with you guys.
was like going off on a tangent talking about nobody believes in him. Like we've been believing in
yeah.
in the
How do you
Seahawks
not
all
believe in the
year.
Seahawks?
So
everybody's
living in
been-
the Pacific Northwest and just knowing
Watch what you say.
everybody who
Watch
lives
what
around
you
here.
say.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
not-
saying that we believe in them, but there is a lot of people who
Yeah,
believe in
like
these
they-
Seahawks.
the
And I
Seahawks,
want to
everybody's
say
on that bandwagon.
ESPN's on that bandwagon.
Yes, they
you know,
are.
New England's
Yes,
not
they
getting that much love.
I
You know,
agree.
they are a little bit, but
You know what's crazy?
You know what's funny
they're
though?
loving
Go
that
ahead.
defense.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I say this. You remember when the last time the Seahawks and the Patriots went against each other?
Yeah.
It was the whole Richard Sherman.
Yep.
You mad, bro? When he went up to
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I saw that picture. I was like, damn, that was seems like it was so long. It was
I
it
wish
was 3 years ago, it was
Richard Sherman
2012.
was at 100% health
Yeah.
for this because you know
He's gonna bring
there
it,
was
though.
going to be some rhetoric
Him
going
and Earl
into the
Thomas
game.
are already saying they're playing.
Now you know
I understand
going.
that, but
I
you
like-
know they're both
That's 2
dinged up.
weeks. They'll
See-
be going. They'll be going
All right,
hard.
all right.
Tom
There we go.
Brady is
Shout
not
out to
like
the strength and heart
Tom-
of Sherm.
Tom Brady's not like Aaron Rodgers.
You crazy man.
He is not gonna shy away from a cornerback. I seen him do. I think it was.
Nah, he's too bullheaded
I think
to
it was
do that.
something. I can't remember. He's a cornerback from the Dolphins. It was something Grimes, like Brandon Grimes or something like that. But he talked shit about Tom Brady. Tom Brady
Yeah.
scored for 3 touchdowns.
Don't do that.
It's like
Don't you? Don't,
Brady
the
will,
worst thing you
Brady
could do.
will attack you.
Exactly.
And
the
and
worst
I-
thing you could do is to think or come at any pre-Hall of Fame. Like the dude's going to the Hall of Fame.
Here's the
Bro,
thing,
yeah.
though.
Don't ever go at a Hall of Fame quarterback before a game.
And
Ever.
they
He's
will-
gonna come
they
at you. and put up numbers.
Grimes is no Sherman, though.
No,
but Belichick,
there's a big difference.
Sherman will make you pay if you try to think that you're just going to come at him.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
You got to come at him with
can you
decision.
say this? Are there very many quarterbacks within the NFL that could actually acknowledge where Sherman is on the field with the coverage and still go to his side?
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers acknowledged it, and he straight up ignored.
And he went away from it.
He's like, I'm not.
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
not
I'm saying.
challenging on that
so
side.
what I'm asking you is Tom Brady, now that he knows that the secondary for the Seattle Seahawks is already verbally acknowledged, they're hurting a little bit.
Yeah.
They're hurting a little bit. Is he going to take to the sky?
I would if I was him.
This is what
Even though LeGarrette Blount has put on 2 or 3 back-to-back 100-yard games?
Belichick is going to put Sherman in conflict. He's going to test him. He's going to throw out Edelman.
Yeah.
He's going to throw out Amendola.
So he's going to throw some
out
blitz packages.
Somebody on that left side.
Okay.
That's going to force Sherman to have to make a tackle. We're gonna test you. We're gonna see where you're at. Earl Thomas, we're gonna have you go. We're gonna see. We're gonna test to see if you can really handle LeGarrette Blount straight up. You're gonna bring Thomas in the box. We're gonna test you.
So many weapons on both sides of the field. It's really exciting. But we're gonna hold off before we drop our predictions. We're gonna bite our tongues. Jake's switching up now. The hammer, he's giving us Seattle and New England.
Yeah.
It's a toss,
and that's how Vegas is like. They're saying it's like a 1 point,
back and forth. Yeah.
And then now they're saying it's like a pick 'em. So by the time the game starts,
that's how it is here for Rose City Sports Talk. So we're gonna bite our tongue for one more week, and we're gonna keep it null, and then we're gonna jump in next week and give you our predictions for the Super Bowl. Right now, we're gonna transition into the NBA.
Yeah.
Because a lot has happened in the few days that we've had since our last episode. So I think it's time to update Anwar's.
To keep them low.
Yeah. We're gonna update Anwar's keep them low rankings. And I think a lot has happened this week because last week was the first week in our entire season that we got to see the Spurs not sitting at number 1.
Yeah.
And if you followed us in the previous episodes, Anwar's explained that the Spurs were always sitting number 1 because to him, he needed to be convinced that the Spurs could be beat within a 7-game series. And that made sense. So the Spurs sat at number 1 the whole season up until last week where we got to see them slide out.
They slid out.
I want to know. Let's cover the new top 5 because a lot has happened. I know you showed a lot of love to our ailing Blazers last week. We slid into the top 3. Okay,
they're not getting love. I'm sorry, Portland.
I kind of figured that. So who we got? Before we take a commercial break, let's talk about number 5.
It's funny too because I'm about to piss people off right now.
Oh, already.
And I mean, I'm just doing this off the straight though. I have to talk about them. I have to give them some love for what they've done, the turnaround that they've had.
If you say Detroit,
they're going to be.
He's going to say Detroit. He's already smiling.
Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
You realize what Detroit's record is, right?
Yeah, they are.
This fool saying Detroit's in the top 5.
I'm just saying top 5 right now. They're playing ball.
I can read your mind, Anwar. I can read your fucking mind. It's a dirty place to be.
I had to give him some love.
A dirty place to be.
Yo, Brendan Jennings, 28 PR rating. Like, insane. He had 2 games of over 37 and 10.
He did. He did.
And they have a very impressive front court. You're seeing Drummond and Monroe take off.
Isn't it impressive though? Here's my question to you. Where did this come from? You trade one player who is in all rights, an all-star player who right out the gate started showing his worth in Houston, Josh Smith.
I'll say
what
this.
happened?
I'll say this.
Was it really?
When you have a new
chemistry
regime,
was that off?
You have a new regime. You have a new coaching philosophies. You got a guy like Stan Van Gundy who's a successful coach. You need every way to buy in. If you have one bad apple in there, is not buying in. You're gonna run into some problems. They have talent. Early in the year, I predict them to go to playoffs, and they fell on their face. But as soon as they got him out,
they did.
And then they bought into the philosophy of Van Gundy. He's having Drummond create that role of Dwight
and 26.
Dwight Howard. They are, but they're 7-3 in their last 10 games, and they firmly place themselves into Eastern
top
Conference
five
playoffs.
Into 16 and 26.
They beat Cleveland. They beat San Antonio.
They did have a good week. They
They beat Toronto.
The Hawks just beat up on them tonight.
They did.
Or earlier
And then
today.
the Hawks are impressive.
They
but,
slowed the skid. Or
this is the one time
run.
Detroit's not going to be in the top 5 pretty much for the rest of the season.
So this is the 1 week? Is this the 1 week you're giving it to him?
It's been so impressive that I have to give shout out. I have to get a shout out to
Anwar
him.
Jones.
Okay.
Showing pity love.
I gotta give them praise, man.
rankings.
And right now, today, they look like a problem in the East. They've been the second best team in the East next to Atlanta for the past couple weeks. Got to give them some praise.
Well, I want to know where Atlanta comes, so we will be right back, and we will see where the rest of the impressive
Detroit
East lies.
basketball
is
The
no
impressive
good.
East. All right, we will be right back here on Rose City Sports Talk. Be sure to check us out, rosecitysportstalk.com, and a special thanks to our scoring producers, Lunchtime Legends. Check them out, iTunes, and forAnySituation.com. Welcome back to Rose City Sports Talk. As always, Bryce Trost, Anwar Jones, Jake Hummel. We are feeling good thanks to Ninkasi Brewing as well as Pyramid out of Eugene, Oregon and Seattle, Washington. Check them out. NinkasiBrewing.com, PyramidBrewing.com. Another special thanks to Lunchtime Legends who are scoring the episode. If you are an artist or producer and you're interested in scoring an episode of Rose City Sports Talk, we're totally down. Hit us up, rosecitysportstalk.com, as well as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Definitely hit us up. We'd love to hear your sounds.
Yes. Also, Anwar's crazytop5.com.
Yeah.
Keep them low.
All right. If you're just tuning in, we are delving into our Keep 'em Low rankings. Number 5, which
I just gotta say, it fluctuates, man.
Please say it again. Say it again.
Fluctuates. It's Detroit
Number 5.
basketball.
Number 5, Anwar's got Detroit basketball, probably for the only
man.
Power 5 ranking they're gonna get all year.
I give them praise when praise
Number
is
10 in
due.
the West.
Yeah, right.
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, aren't they with the record? Aren't they number 10?
In the East.
Oh, sorry, in the East.
They'll be there in the playoffs.
Just saying.
They're number 10 in the East.
Number 10.
Anwar, this man is out of control.
They have won
He's out of
16
control.
games.
I watched a lot
If
of
you want to
6.
argue with us here at Rose City Sports Talk, we'd love to hear your opinion. Hit
For
us
the
up
week.
on Twitter.
The last couple
Search
weeks.
out Rose City Sports Talk, or you can just hashtag Rose City Sports Talk on Instagram if you've got a point to make. We'd love to hear your opinion. Let's jump back
You
in.
can't tell me Detroit hasn't been balling.
Let's jump back in. Number 4, who we got?
And another team that's been balling is Memphis, man. Memphis, number 4.
Okay.
Grit and grind. You know I love the
I
grit
can't
and grind
argue with
crew.
that after
No,
that
I
loss.
can't argue with that.
I like the grit and grind
Especially
crew.
that loss when they didn't have Conley.
Yeah, they played great.
Impressive. Very impressive.
Gasol looked good.
Gasol's been looking good.
Because-
Not just looked good, he's been looking good.
I'll tell you what, though.
Oh boy.
What's his name?
Gasol's a beast.
What's his name?
The old Blazer. Give
The
it
old-
to me.
We talking about Zebo?
Zebo got his ass handed to him by Aldridge.
No.
Come on.
I
you
disagree.
didn't see that?
Okay. A couple plays, yes. But overall, Zebo still puts the body into Aldridge.
Not like he used
Aldridge,
to. Not like he used to.
Shout out to LA. Shout out to those Longhorns.
Zebo still gets it in.
Aldridge has gotten a lot more physical over the last couple of years.
Yeah, he was
but
whooping his
Zebo
ass on the ball.
bang! No.
Okay.
Zebo still bangs.
All I know is
Not
Zebo,
like he used to.
Zebo still had 20 and 15 in that game.
I'm not saying he
so
had a
he
good
got
game.
He got his bang on in that.
I'm not
in that
saying he
game.
did not have a good game.
20 and
I'm just
15.
saying
You
Zebo
can't argue
doesn't
that.
bang
You can't
up like
argue
he
that.
used to.
Zebo-
And you got to give me love on this. Aldridge bangs way more than the last time he's saying Zebo.
That's what I
He
said. That's
doesn't-
what I said. In the last
he
couple
is-
of
You know
years.
what? You know what? I love Aldridge.
Do not argue this.
He is.
Do not tell me Aldridge
his
is
jump
not
shot-
physical.
His jump shot.
You're
is,
about to tell me he's not
jump
physical.
shot is great.
Do you know how he's about to tell me he's not physical? Because he starts the argument with his jump shot is great. All right, tell me.
The man needs. He does need to bang a little, just a little bit more. You know what? A lot of times,
How many times was Zebo on the ground?
I can tell.
A couple,
I
that's
can
for
tell,
sure.
and I call
There was a couple flops,
LaMarcus's fadeaways all the time. You can tell when
That's
he's just
his
not.
shot.
Yeah, he
he's just
switches
not
to
gonna,
the offhand on the dribble, and he comes back to the
He's
strong
not gonna
hand.
bang.
No,
You know, sometimes-
I'm not
sometimes
talking
he does.
about on
Sometimes he
offense
gets-
with his shot.
Sometimes he gets mad and he'll
Defense.
bang with you.
Defense. He was giving it to Zebo, knocking him down, blocking his shots. Zebo was falling on the ground.
LaMarcus is long.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, you could have the former teammates.
Were we
something
watching
like
the
that.
same game?
That's a rough argument right there. Okay.
20 and 15.
I agree
Means that boy was banging on him.
I agree.
And they.
I'm not
had-
saying he.
Yeah, I agree with
They had that
the
game
top
in
5 ranking.
hand.
I can see how they make their way. I honestly think they'd be more like number 5 with the moves they're making. I think the Detroit placement is a joke, but that's almost keep them low. I ain't mad. I understand.
There are plenty of teams that are better than Detroit, but the last couple of weeks they've been balling.
So number 5, Anwar's got Detroit
just
sitting at the keep them low rankings. Number 4, we have Memphis. Number 3, who do we got?
Houston.
Ooh.
Houston.
Okay.
The Rockets, and that is mainly because of what
They
James Harden.
pulled one out tonight against Indy, didn't they?
They didn't just pull one out.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave once again.
No, Indy got back in the game. It only ended up being like a 10-point game. It was like 100 to 110 or 98 and 110.
110 to 98.
Yeah.
James Harden dropped
Harden
40.
put on a show,
dropped
though.
45, and that dude in the last 5 games, 20. He's averaging 28 points. Over seven assists. Like, I mean, this guy has been amazing
with his Euro step.
With his Euro step, I don't understand how the Euro step is not. You guys don't respect it.
I don't respect it. If I cannot get credit or show love and give props to LeBron's crab step back in the day, then y'all can't expect me to show love to James Harden's 3-step. Bouldering into you, throw up a shot, and get that foul every time.
So, do not bring up the crab.
Bro, look how many points. Look how many points he's making from the line.
That was a blatant travel.
Look at how many points James Harden is making from the line. And when you're an all-star and you go dozing into 3 people, of course you're going to get a foul call.
So you're going to bring that up. So this guy, Bryce to my left, is going to bring that up. I know the Hammer
bring that up
is
right
bringing
now.
that up.
I don't like the guy. He gets most of his points at the line.
Okay.
That is not MVP status. That is not.
That's not okay.
Thank you. The only reason he's getting to the line is because he's an all-star.
I know a guy by the name of Allen Iverson. He constantly led the league in field goal.
It's
in
a
field goal
different time.
attempts.
Different
I know
game.
Jordan
free throws.
constantly
I'm talking
was
free
getting to the free throw line. I know Dwayne Wade constantly was getting to the line.
All right, you cannot sit here and tell me
the
Jordan.
number that you're talking about, 10 free throw line.
No.
10
Jordan
free throw,
earned it. Harden doesn't.
Come
He's
on.
flopping.
Okay, hold on.
Jordan
hold
got hacked.
Hold on, Jake.
This is what you do.
I can't argue that Jordan didn't take his known 2 to 4 steps.
Let me say this.
But Harden and his European step is freaking ridiculous.
The Euro step is not a travel.
Look at these replays in slow motion. You feel like these dudes are taking 4 steps and then going up with the shot.
It's a very unconventional move, but it's not a travel. And the fact of the matter is, if you're an NBA player, if you're an NBA, mainly an NBA scorer, Your job is either get buckets, create space, or get to the free throw line. And that's what all great scorers do. They get to the line. And that's what James Harden has a knack for. So I'm not going to knock him for getting
MVPs.
to the line.
Look at the last MVPs.
So LeBron James, then this guy over here is a huge LeBron James fan. LeBron James has made a career over going full speed and just straight up
and
running back
finishing.
mode, running over players. LeBron James, you cannot tell me that LeBron James does not run to the lane and just get the call. And you know what he does?
I can't agree.
The onus.
Did you not watch the San Antonio series?
The San Antonio series is because they got schooled. They were spinning that ball around.
But it's the same type of play where LeBron, if he is tackling the inside, which he really doesn't attack the inside anymore.
You know what it was?
What?
Let's talk about San Antonio and what they did to him. Because the fact of the matter is, they didn't let him go to the basket. They spread him. They fell back and made that dude shoot jump shots.
Yeah, they made him shoot mid-range and long-range shots.
And you knew he was scared. The first time they played him, he was scared to death to shoot those jump shots. He was scared. And the second time, it just didn't even matter because they just kicked their ass.
How did we end up on LeBron James to keep him low ranking?
We're just talking MVPs. We're talking MVPs.
Yeah, because the simple fact is, LeBron James put the onus on the referees to make the call and look, is it 50-50? You're going to give it to the offensive player, you're going to give it to the superstar player. James Harden uses that to his advantage, gets to the line, and makes it easy, gets 2 buckets.
Okay. So
he still hits just tonight he had 7 threes. He was 7 for 9 from the 3-point line.
Do you think that type of play deserves an MVP candidacy?
It's not just him forcing the issue and getting to the line. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing for his team, getting your team into the penalty early and getting free buckets. Then also getting everybody involved. Then hitting the 3.
So would you vote for him?
Then hitting the mid-range jump shot.
Would you vote for him?
No.
Yes.
No.
You would vote for him.
James Harden has been a beast. What part of James Harden's game
I'm not saying he hasn't put up points.
Has not been.
But I'm not voting for him.
Kills
it's not
the
even
shot.
a bias.
He's a great shooter. He's a great passer.
Other
I do not like the way he drives to the hole and expects a foul. I don't like that. That's not an MVP personality.
You know who I respect for driving to the hole?
Come on, Anwar. You can't think
who I respect for driving to the hole like that with that semi-reckless CP3. Chris Paul. Chris Paul has
one of the biggest floppers in the league.
Yeah, he complains too.
Yeah, he got a flop. He got a flop, but he doesn't use a 3-step drive and then floater after the 3-step to get his points or get his guarantee.
I guess I'm just a little bit more old school than this.
I admit, James Harden, and I had a conversation with Earl Watson, former Blazer.
Yep.
And I talked to him I used to work at Nordstrom's. I'm throwing that out there. I used to work there.
I remember this.
Talked to Earl Watson, and he said
that you telling about this.
Literally he will put the ball in the defender, and if you watch him, and then he'll throw his arms out, and it puts the onus on the referee to make that call, and it looks like there's contact.
Bullshit.
But that initial, there are plenty of times when he gets in there, that initial time, it's a good move, and he's taking it to the defense, man. Guard him. Stop him from getting into the cup.
Agree to disagree. I definitely don't agree with this guy. Jake doesn't agree with him, but it's Anwar's keep him low ranking, so there it sits.
Let's go
Number
up.
5.
Beer to beer.
Number 5, we've got Detroit. Number 4, we've got the Grizz. Number 3, we've got Houston. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to jump into 1 and 2. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about what's going on in the NBA, and we will be right back. Rose City Sports Talk. Check us out, rosecitysportstalk.com, as well as Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hit us up. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rose City Sports Talk. As always, Bryce Trost, Anwar Jones, Jake Hummel. Check us out, rosecitysportstalk.com for the latest episodes and other information like Anwar's Keep 'em Low rankings, which we're going through right now. You can check them out. Right now, we've got posted number 5, Detroit.
Detroit basketball.
Dude's crazy. Number 4, we got Memphis, right?
Memphis,
the
Tennessee.
Grizz. Number 3, we've got Houston. Number 2,
Chop and screw.
who we got number 2?
We're going to Area.
Okay.
Bay Area.
Splash Bros.
Splash Brothers.
Ansem. Splash Bros. Ansem.
See, that makes me worry about what you have at number 1.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I think number 1 is the same. I bet.
Golden State.
Better not be.
And
I bet it is.
And last week,
even with the,
I have to make a I said like I didn't trust like their big men.
you did say
And
that.
I did say that, and
Talking big.
I
Against the
misspoke a
bigs.
little bit because of the fact that Maurice Spates
You hear this?
has been.
Anwar Jones making a
Yeah.
retraction.
Yeah, no, I mean, let's tell it how it is. I
Okay.
am not.
No, I appreciate
perfect.
it. I appreciate
look,
it.
Like,
He is not perfect, ladies and gentlemen.
I will say when I make a mistake and everything. So yeah, and clearly Detroit being number 5, you probably don't think I'm perfect. So,
Yeah.
but Maurice Spates has been good this year. I mean, he's been a blessing for this team. The way that not only he's hit the mid-range jump shot, but he's also improved his defense this year. And then David Lee too, coming off the bench, is big time. I do think that they need an extra big man. They might try to trade for Miles Plumlee from the Phoenix Suns, who's in trade talks right now. That's one of the possible landing destinations for them.
That would be a move.
Just getting another big man in there would be godsend for them. But the simple fact that their versatility on offense, the Splash Brothers, Draymond Green,
Golden
has
State.
just been a monster on defense. They offensively, they're just a juggernaut.
You used the term perfect, and it's not just the big men, man. It's the team in general.
Mm-hmm.
They're just beastly. They're monsters right now. They're
to
sitting
you.
at 33-6.
Mm-hmm.
Portland, number 2 in the West, is 3.5 games behind them. And here's the thing, confidently as a Blazer fan, I don't even know if we can catch Golden State because Golden
I don't
State
even
looks.
want to catch Golden
Nobody's
State.
catching. Nobody's
No.
catching.
Yeah,
No,
they're-
but
they're
that
not
means
catching
if
them.
you're
That's
Blazers, you're
ridiculous.
not going to meet them until.
Let's not meet them.
You're not catching. Nobody's catching Golden State. You know what's crazy about the Splash Brothers too? Like just to put it into perspective, like they're basically right now they're hitting 6 threes a game. Those two guys.
Yeah.
And still shooting
Curry and
40%. Curry and Thomas.
Yeah.
They're shooting over. They're both shooting over 40%
Yeah, they're
from
filthy right
the
now.
3-point line. Like the amount of attempts that they just keep it pushing. Like it's so hard to just from playing ball. If there's one shooter on the court and like everybody's focused on me, like you see them like shooter.
Right.
There's 2 guys that are like that.
Here's the other.
on that team.
Other guarantee.
That causes problems.
Not just the fact that you've got 2 guaranteed shooters, because let's be honest, Portland knows all about that. In our minds, we've got 3 guaranteed shooters.
West,
One of them
West.
happens to be in a
many-
serious slump.
you got many
but me,
splashing.
but me as a fan has faith in Nicholas Batum and believes he'll be turning it
Tell
around.
him to get it together.
Hey,
man.
hey. Be
Tell
nice.
him to get it together
Be
because
nice.
he has been below average on offense.
Hey,
and his
I
defense has been
have-
suffering.
I have
Nicola
faith in
is-
Pippen Jr.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nicola is
And
a great
don't
player.
ever- don't-
He fills.
Oh,
the
don't
stat
get mad at me
sheets.
for comparing him to Pippen. Oh, look at how mad he just got. Okay, before.
Sometimes you just slump
Here's
it.
my question.
Whoa.
Here's my question. Blazers are 19-4 at home. Is there even a chance that Golden State is gonna let off the gas and not be that dominant? They're 18-1 in the Bay Area at home. Honestly, with the schedule that they've got, do you see anybody knocking off Golden State in the West?
Yeah,
I see them.
do.
I see them being knocked off
Really?
in the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs. I'm
Regular
talking about
season-
regular season.
Regular
and with
season,
seeding.
No.
Okay.
No.
I agree.
No.
I agree.
It's kind of like with Phoenix back in the day. Like their offense was so good. You run against this team on the third game in 4 nights.
Yep.
Like they're gonna run you out the gym.
Yeah.
You don't check up on these shooters. They get hot. The game's over.
over.
The
It's
game's
over.
over by the third quarter. You're like, okay, we're resting our players.
But
Like,
as you
they'll-
look at it right now at the league, 33-6 Golden State is what they're sitting at.
they're 5 games ahead of.
But you look at San Antonio 26-16, and in my mind, and this is horrible, in my mind, after seeing the beat down they put on Blazers after seeing their starters finally come back,
and
not even all their starters.
That's your matchup right now.
I know.
2 versus 7.
It was horrible.
They will beat Portland in a 7-game series.
Not just Portland.
And
not
they will
just
beat
Portland.
Golden State.
If they look like that, you're gonna have them back on top of your top or on
They
watch,
look
keep
good.
them low
They
rankings,
played
and
a
I
great
won't be
game,
able to
but
say a
we
damn
did
thing.
not have our big man.
But you know who
our
came
big
back?
man did not play.
Hold on.
Yeah.
We came all the way back. Sorry.
Who came
not
back?
That game.
All the
not
way
that
back.
game. That
He
game
came
was
back for
a
the
game.
Spurs, though. Kawhi Leonard.
Well, Kawhi Leonard
Yeah.
is a beast. That guy is a future star. On any other team, he would be a number 1 go-to, but he's stuck on the Spurs. So,
Yeah, I
but
got
not a
He's
bad place
basically
to be
their go-to.
stuck
He's
on.
their most important player right now.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
proved that.
He is an amazing talent that is going to be developed, hopefully, through that team.
Yeah, it's slow. Yeah, you know he's gonna be.
You
developed.
hope?
You know he's gonna be.
I feel
developed.
like we've already seen his.
Yeah. He was a Finals MVP.
Well, you see
He
him.
outplayed LeBron
Yeah, no.
James in the
You
Finals.
see him get shots, but
Yeah.
shots are not called for him. They're not running
No,
any
not
plays
yet. You're not seeing
for him.
offenses
That's what I'm
run
saying.
through Kawhi.
Pretty
but
soon,
I'm telling you,
The system,
the ball will be
system
rolled
find him.
through
The
him.
system
That's
will
what
find
I'm
him.
saying.
You almost
Once
don't
the
even need
system
to.
is,
You
it'll
don't.
You don't
be
even
amazing.
need to run it through him because you know
It will-
he is
the
that
ball
that
has
hustle
energy,
player.
it'll find
It
him.
will find exactly. It will find him. Okay, I agree with number 2. I don't agree with number 5, 4, 3. Let's jump into number 1 while we got the time. Number 1 in Anwar's keep them low rankings.
I already know.
Who is it?
We trying
already
to
know.
A-Town stomp
Okay,
on him, man.
okay.
ATL.
ATL, all right.
Yeah.
I can't disagree. Right now.
Ooh, Atlanta, man. Like,
What
they're-
can you say?
I've been
can
doing.
you say?
I've been watching them a lot on League Pass lately,
34-8.
and they are
17-3
I like
at home.
watching this
5
team
games
play.
up.
One player that we don't throw out there,
Ridiculous.
Damari Carroll from Missouri.
Yeah.
He spent some time in Utah.
That's just why, because he's from
And-
Missouri. But
and
he
he was over in
doing
Utah.
work.
He stabilizes that team. Like, he guards the best
Agreed.
wing player over there. He can hustle. He can hit threes.
It's that other side of the ball that matters right now for Atlanta,
And-
and it's translating game to game. You're not just seeing it on the quick outlets and the 3 balls and the dump offs and
And
you're seeing it in the defense too, and it's
simple
crazy.
and plain. Simple and plain. When
Yep.
it comes to Atlanta, you know you're gonna get top-notch defense at all times. When you have Jeff Teague just shut down Brandon Jennings, who has been killing lately. He went 1 for 10 tonight, and that was due to Jeff Teague's defense.
Yeah.
You have
Real D.
You have Damari Carroll, who plays great defense. You have Thabo Sefolosha, who plays great D. And then you bring in Schroeder, who plays some good D. Like, everybody comes in there, you always have that defense intensity. And I saw a game against Chicago where Chicago was coming at them, but they just couldn't stop them.
Nope.
On the other end, like, Atlanta was just executing. Sefolosha hits a mid-range jump shot, and then T comes out and hits a layup. Horford hit like 3 or 4 jump shots.
They're hitting.
Over like
They're hitting.
It's just great defense, good continuity on the offense, and they're just winning. And we gotta start seriously, like, we're like praising Atlanta. We have to start talking
worrying
about
them?
being in the finals.
Oh, okay.
No,
We gotta-
worry
we're
about
gonna
him
recap.
after
We're
gotta
gonna
throw
recap.
that out
Let's
there.
recap Anwar's Keep 'em
throw
Low
that out
rankings.
there. Atlanta, think about it. Atlanta in the
This
finals.
man's brave right now. Number 5.
Just
Who do we
throwing it-
got? Number 5.
5 Detroit basketball.
Number 4.
1 week only. Memphis, number 4. Grit and
Number
grind.
3.
Houston, chopped and screwed.
Number 2.
Bay Area.
And the obvious
State.
number 1 right now.
ATL.
ATL. That's going to
Shout
wrap
out to
it
Andre
up
3000.
Enjoy it while it
for
lasts.
Anwar's Keep 'em Low rankings. Be sure to check him out at rosecitysportstalk.com and hit us up on Twitter and Instagram. We'd love to hear your feedback. He'd love to hear why he's wrong with those rankings. We'd love to hear it too.
I'll argue with
Okay, before
I have no
we
problems.
close things out for the night,
And myself.
there's been a couple different moves around and around the NBA, and we've seen some slides and some games pick up. Let's first talk about the fall off. Chicago. Is there a chance that Chicago's gonna be able to, I mean, we saw the spurt in terms of when Rose came back. Are they going to turn things around after this recent slide?
Chicago's not bad. They're 27 and 16.
I agree. But you've seen a nice little slide, just like the Blazers.
Yeah. It's like 4 out of the last 6 games. I think they've lost.
Mid-season struggle.
What do you think?
It's interesting because the fact Derrick Rose is starting to improve.
Yep.
He had a 32-point outing against Washington.
We say this every week. Knock on wood. He might be improving, but his health is still in question. We always
I think he's there. I don't think it's a health issue
D-Rose
right now.
to stay healthy and not get injured.
I mean, of course, it's always a health issue with Derrick Rose, but I think that's not the issue right now. I mean, Mike Dunleavy's been out. They've been forced to have Heinrich play extended minutes. And Aaron Brooks and E'Twaun Moore. Some guys that you just don't really want out for extended minutes on the time.
True.
But it's interesting with like Jimmy Butler. He's kind of falling back down to earth a little bit as far as his numbers are concerned, and there might be a struggle with
but Butler's still pretty fun to watch.
As Rose's usage rate is coming up, Butler's coming down. So what's better?
What you knew was going to happen. What you knew was going to happen.
They're searching for that. They're searching for that
healthy
balance.
median. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, before we jump back in and we talk about the teams that are on the rise here in the NBA after some pretty dramatic slides, we're going to take a quick break. Check us out, RoseCitySportsTalk.com, and be sure to check out the scoring producers for tonight's episode, Lunchtime Legends. I know this is that feel good.
I like that beat.
Much love to Dre of Lunchtime Legends. You can check them out, RoseCitySportsTalk.com, as well as forAnySituation.com. You can also search them out on iTunes. They've released a production album that features some heat. Black Gold, I believe.
Black Gold, I like
it's
that.
fire.
Give me
it's
some
fire.
Black Gold.
It's fire all around.
Hold on.
Check them out.
I got
Lunchtime
Black Gold
Legends.
all day.
We'll be right back.
Black Gold right
Rose City
there.
Sports Talk.
Black and gold, black and gold. Is this last segment?
Yeah.
Real quick, and then close out.
All right, welcome back to Rose City Sports Talk. Bryce Trost, Anwar Jones, and Jake the Hammer Hummel.
Hammer.
All right, we were talking
them
about
low,
the turnarounds. We talked about the Chicago fall off. I think it's kind of obvious we're already seeing the turnaround of the Cavs, but I definitely want to talk about OKC as well.
79 points in the first half. They looked unstoppable in that first half.
Are you going to see OKC carry this through
They need to.
after the All-Star break? And are you going to see them play somewhere around 6?
They'll be in it.
This is the point right now. This is 20-20. They're 500. This is where they're gonna make their push. And what I saw from Dion Waiters is looking like that missing piece that they had. You put Dion Waiters and Reggie Jackson. Keep Reggie Jackson on the team. Don't trade him. He's been in the trade talks for the last couple of weeks.
I got you.
Keep him. you have a bench where you have Waiters and Jackson, it's unstoppable to stop. Like, so
I got you. But
you have in the starting line, you got two big time forces with Westbrook and Durant, and then you just keep them going with Jackson and Waiters. So I think they
got some depth.
I think it's
man.
a really
they got
good
some depth. As the health continues to improve,
Mm-hmm.
the depth is scary. Okay,
and
I want to
going to
know
stop those guys later on. Man.
I want to know who, in your mind, now that we've covered the whole NBA, who is Anwar's baller of the week?
I'm giving it to a surprise pick, Al Horford.
Is it a surprise? He got his team sitting at number one on the.
He had a triple-double earlier this week.
He did have a nice triple-double.
And I mean, his numbers aren't outrageous, but
what
just
about
the fact that he solidifies that.
Westbrook did have a mean double-double.
Westbrook had a mean triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
Was it a trip-double?
Yeah.
He did. He had.
It was like 17, 17, and 15.
That's what it was. Yeah. I was
just like
off.
17 assists.
It was against the game against the Bulls though. Like when the Bulls kept on trying to come back, and you just see Al Horford. He hit four straight jumpers with less than 4 minutes in the game. They were just bang, bang.
Yeah.
It's like this dude needs to get his props. So he should be starting in the All-Star game, hands down. Al Horford is the best center in the league right now, solidifying that Atlanta defense.
That's a bold statement. Like, best center in the league. This year. Right now.
Okay. He's playing the best. He's playing the best ball.
Don't jump on him for that.
Al Horford, player of the week. Shout out to Horford.
He says bold things. That's why I do on the show.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it here for us at Rose City Sports Talk. We appreciate your time, your ears, and your eyes. Yeah. Special thanks to Lunchtime Legends for scoring the episode. Another special thanks to Ninkasi Brewing out of Eugene, Oregon, as well as Pyramid out of Seattle. Yeah. Jake is, an endless fan of the Schonz now. If you want to send him a nice case of that, I think he would put work to that and be walking around
the
streets.
Ninkasi and the listeners. Thank you to the listeners.
Yeah, much
man.
love.
We always appreciate y'all, man.
If you're interested in hearing or checking out any of the past episodes of Rose City Sports Talk, they're all online. You can check them out, rosecitysportstalk.com, as well as on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We're there. Hit us up. We want to hear your feedback, as well as we'd love to have you check out the past episodes and then come at us for our horrible ranking system.
Oh, it's not horrible.
Okay.
And I'm coming at you. I might be playing music out somewhere where Bryce knows. How you doing?
Come find him.
That's right. Come find this man. All right.
DJ
from Green Luck Media Group here in Portland, Oregon. This has been Rose City Sports Talk. Good night.
Don't forget to keep them low.
Bye, Mom.
Legendary.